Hi and welcome to the Gemhawks YouTube channel. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. For our free tutorial here on YouTube today, I'm going to show you how to use CupChain to make instant drop earrings. Now, I've been asked about using Swarovski CupChain several times, and I thought that this is a really great way to turn it into instant drop earrings. They really do only take a couple of minutes. So let's head down to the board, we'll take a closer look at the project, and then I'll show you how you can use CupChain to attach to any round form. I'm going to be using brass washers to create jewellery. So this is the earring we're going to make together today. Now, because it's quite a small cup chain that I've made the earrings with, it looks really beautiful in the ear, by the way. What I'm going to do is demonstrate with a larger cup chain and a larger washer, because even if I get the camera to zoom in really closely, any tiny move that I make, and my hands are a little bit shaky sometimes, is going to be magnified many-fold. So this is what you can achieve with this design. I'm going to be using the same wire, which is a 0.6mm or 22 gauge wire, but as I mentioned, I'm just going to be demonstrating with slightly larger pieces. So I'll just pop this back out of the way. It's got beautiful fluid movement, and this is really the easiest and fastest way you can turn cup chain, and this is Swarovski cup chain, into simple drop earrings. Now, you don't have to use a washer, you could texture the washer, but I have shown you that many times now. So I'll just get this put back out of the way and then we'll crack on. So I have my brass washer here. I'm demonstrating with an 18mm piece just because it will be easier to see on camera, but these are just 8mm across. That's the outer diameter. The wire I'm going to use today is 0.6mm or 22 gauge, and I have a 4-inch length. You won't need quite as much as that if you're doing teeny tiny earrings like I have done up at the top here. And what we're going to do to begin with is to pass about 1.5 inches through the centre of that washer. That's again because I'm using a big washer. It only needs to be kind of 3/4 inch if you're doing teeny tiny washers as well. And what we're going to do is first of all get a really sharp bend so that the wire passes back on itself really firmly. Now, if it helps you, you can hold that and give it a very gentle little squish just to get that sharp bend around the washer. What we're going to do then is to bring the cut tail away. Now, it's easier for me because I'm right-handed to take that cut tail over to the right, because what I want to do is to bring that very sharply back up again. And what we're doing is we're going to wrap visually from the other side. So we've got 2 wraps. From the back it will look like 3 wraps. But just to make sure that you're getting a sharp bend around each side of that washer, I've given that a very sensitive little squish. Now you've got the bend in place, we're going to take the tail of that wire and push it through the middle and then bring that firmly back down. So we're working on the rear side of the design at the moment, which is where the long tail of wire needs to be coming away. So if we flip over to the front, we can see then that we will have 2 passes of wire. Let's get that into the light. 2 passes of wire going across the front. So I'm just going to make sure that those are nice and neat and tidy by giving them another little squish, and then we'll bring that tail up the rear side of the design. So once we've got that up the rear side, I'm just going to push it gently down to begin with, and then I'm going to trim that away just before it reaches the inner part of that washer. So I'm going to clench across those 3 bars as we're looking at it, and again this is the rear of the design, and I'm just going to tighten up that little 3 bars and then squish that very firmly into position. If we now flip over to the front, you can see we've got 2 visible wraps. Let me just tilt that in the light. I might just turn that light slightly away so there's just a little less glare. So from the front of the design, you can see there are 2 passes of wire, and then the tail of wire comes down the back and away. What we're going to do then is to bring that very firmly forward. So if I show you that sideways, there's no little soft edges there. It's wrapping very firmly around that washer. Once we've got that very firm little angle, I'm just again going to check everything is neat and tidy, all side by side. I'm going to bring in the cup chain. Now, the top single piece or little claw gripped cup. I suppose it's called CupChain for a reason. There is a series of little cups and they're linked by a bar, and it's a nice flexible chain. We're going to sit that over the front of the design and pinch it with the non-dominant hand with the cup firmly up against those passes of wire that sit smoothly. You're going to very firmly hold that down so it's flat against the washer, bring the wire all the way around that little bar and pull it back again. What you need to do here is to make sure that the cup stays touching the washer, because if you pull too tight, that cup will elevate and come away. You need to keep that clenched against the washer. Once you've got that wire pulling back firmly, we're just going to push it up the back of the design. So just hold for a second and investigate what you've done so far. You've got those very neat 2 little passes of wire across the front of the washer, and it looks like 3 at the back, which is where the wire truncates. We've created a loop that goes around just the bar, and then a very firm pull of wire back in the opposite direction around the rear side of that design. So what we're going to do is to pinch our top cup into position and pull that wire through the centre of the washer. Again, making sure you're not pulling so hard in this direction that you elevate that cup. It's important that the cup stays put. Whilst you're holding that cup in position, you can draw the wire down the front. Now that's really the most important wrap because it sets the tension and ensures that the cup sits in place. Once you've got that all good and strong, we can give that first wrap a nice little squish, warm that little bit of wire through just once, and then take that round the back. Now I'm being very gentle not to overstress the wire as it comes through, because I do want a really firm squish going around the edges of that washer. So let's pull the remainder of that wire through. We've now got a second pass over the front, and you can tighten that up firmly and then just bring that all together, making sure that little cup up at the top doesn't go anywhere. If we flip over to the rear side, we need to ensure that those passes of wire are side by side, and then we will bring that last piece up the rear side. And again, I'm going to trim just before that reaches the inner part of that washer. So there's 1 inch and a bit of wire remaining on this piece. As I say, this is quite a large washer to demonstrate with. So I'm going to again pinch across diagonally. So at the top on the right hand side, at the bottom on the left hand side. That makes sure that those 3 stripes of wire on the back are side by side. Again, making sure that cup sits down onto the washer and give it space to exist. Then we're going to just squish down on those passes of wire. Now that in essence is it. If you wanted to, you could simply add a very large jump ring at the top and add that onto your favourite earring finding of choice. I'm probably going to keep this as a pendant because it's quite large, although as you can see I do like large earrings. I don't know if I have enough of that slightly larger cup chain to make another earring. I think it will look divine as a pendant anyway, and even though it's a different colour to my earrings, that's probably how I'm going to keep it. What I'm going to do now is to show you how you can set a bead across the middle of that washer. I just need to find one that's absolutely perfect match for the sapphire colour on that Swarovski crystal. So we'll head back down to the board, and if you want a little bit more work to do, you can absolutely enhance this further. Now I had planned on using a beautiful aquamarine, but it looked so washed out against this fantastic sapphire colour crystal that I thought, you know what, let's just use another crystal. So I found this fabulous 8mm rondelle, and these are teeny tiny 3mm amethysts in the demonstration pieces. I'm still going to use that 0.6 or 22 gauge wire, and I'm just going to lay that. This is around about 3.5 to 4 inches, again because it's a large piece that I'm working with. Just going to lay that over the front with around about 1.25 inches over one side. Push that so you get that nice sharp angle change, warm it through, bring the tail all the way round. So the wire sat across the front, and we're going to have a double stripe of wire across the front of the design. If you flip it over to the rear, again it's just going to look like a double stripe of wire. Give that a little bit of a nudge, and then we're going to trim it just before it comes to that inner diameter on that washer. So just make sure everything's nice and neat and tidy and very, very firmly squished. We're working with a lighter wire so that we can keep the earrings nice and light, and also so that you have the flexibility to do those nice sharp squishes. So if it just comes awry, give it a gentle encourage to sit where you want it to, and then tell it that's where you want it to be. So I'm looking for the empty wire to just go across the center of that piece, warm that through nicely, and then get the bead of choice to sit in position. So this is a rondelle. It was the closest I had in terms of sparkle. Hold that in position, and if there is not much of a gap, just scooch it on over. You do need about 1 millimeter between the edge of the bead and the center of the side of that inner washer, just so that you can first of all make that sharp bend where you need to, warm that wire through once, and then bring the tail up inside. So you may find you just need to give that a little bit of a wiggle to get it to sit where you want it to. My bead's a little bit smaller than the cavity, so that's all fine. Make sure that that's really, really tight across the back, and then bring the wire around. Now at this point it does pay to make sure that that's sitting exactly where you want it to before you give it those finishing squishes. So let's flip this over, get that nice and straight if it's gone slightly awry, and then again we're going to trim that just before it reaches the inner part of that washer, and then give it a squish down. Now it really is ever so important at this stage to do these little squishes. Now because I'm working with a much larger piece here and right now, what you could do if you prefer is turn these ends, instead of trimming them at the inside of the washer, give them about 3/4 of an inch extra, make teeny tiny spirals, and in that way the cut end will be in the center of a spiral, and then squish it down. The reason I'm not showing you how to do that today is because if you're making teeny tiny earrings like this, there isn't a huge amount of space to add those spirals. So it really is about making that intention to squish that wire super flat. I absolutely hate trying to photograph earrings when they're on earring findings already, because everything I do just makes them wiggle around. The only way to do it really is to put them in my ear, but then you have to see my face and we don't want that. So you will need to take a moment to make sure that the wire is sitting exactly where you want it to, and then you can either wire in using a rosary linking technique at the top or a supersized jump ring, whichever you prefer. So there you have your how to turn cup chain into instant drop earrings technique. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed the Instant Cupchain Drop Earring tutorial here on the Gemhawks YouTube channel today. Thanks ever so much for hanging out and for watching that. If you have any requests for any future tutorials, do feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Have a magnificent day, and I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Bye for now.